Hi, and welcome to AI Onion Reviews, where every Sunday we bring you reviews of new job search tools that can help in your job search and hopefully reduce some of that stress in finding a job. Look, we all know finding that next role can be possibly one of the most stressful things that you ever do. Of course, what can add to that stress is actually using the wrong tools. Anyway, before I tell you more about that, let me tell you who I am. My name is Ray Baptiste, and I've been a recruitment agency director, owner, and head of talent acquisition for some of the world's largest organizations over the last 30 years. And over that time, I've used most, if not all, of the tools, not only as a recruiter, an employer, but also as a candidate as well. So I'm hoping that the perspective that I can bring today can give you a little bit more insight into how to use these products more effectively. Anyway, before we jump in, there are three things I'm going to do today. One, look at the features of the product that we're going to review. Two, look at who should actually use it. And three, look at how it should be used. Today's product we're going to review is called Total Jobs. Okay, so let's jump straight into Total Jobs. Again, as you can see, very nice layout here. Everything you need is on this front page. Takes you through recommended jobs. So again, that's where you've actually edited your CV, you've done some searches, and then the machine learning can basically start to recommend jobs for you so they can come up here. When you've saved the job, similarly, it will be in here, and you can also create job alerts. Very basic, very straightforward. This is what is classed as, again, a generalist site. So if you've got a very specific or niche skill, possibly not the right place for you. But again, for those starting out in their careers, and I'll go into this a bit more, those maybe returning to the market could be very useful. If you're a sophisticated user, possibly not the place for you. But again, as I say, in my summary, I'll talk about who should and how you should actually be using this. Nice thing about the job alerts here, I really like, before I go into something else, is that when you're creating a job alert, it allows you to determine how the job alert will be sent, locations in miles, location, area, salary, type, and kind of keywords. Yeah, really simple. And again, probably one of the easiest I've come across in my time, basically reviewing these sites. So nice and simple. You can turn it on and off anytime you like, and you can have as many notifications you want per day, and you can see the applications. So again, really simple. So let's go back into here. If we go down the rest of the page, again, create job alerts, be notified of new jobs, see recommendations, as discussed. How often do you want to see those emails? And then you can turn it on and off. Turning it on and off, basically you found something, or you're kind of in final interviews, or it's just you've just overwhelmed it, or you found a site that works for you, turn off the notifications. Doesn't stop jobs actually, or recruiters actually searching on your jobs, but it just means that your inbox doesn't get flooded with jobs. Okay. The app I've yet to review. I'll do that in another email, another webinar. But again, quite simply here for job seeker, your login, salary checker is quite good, but you have a lot of information to fill in. Salary planner, again, that's quite good. And the advice center, again, what you'd expect from this type of site. Rather unusually, they ask you to go straight across to your settings and your profile here. So I've completed my profile. Again, I've completed my profile. I'm just putting some spurious information here. But what I quite liked about this, it kind of broke it down into three areas for you. So to get you as the candidate thinking a little bit more about kind of what it is that you want. So what am I looking for? Nice thing is here, there are lots of job titles out there that mean something to you, but don't really mean something to the rest of the marketplace. So what you can do, you can add a number of different titles here. So you can then spread your search, quite useful, across what other titles your job might be called in other roles or other companies. Again, very useful. You can do the location settings, work eligibility. Again, as I say, I've just put in a random number here. Who would like to earn £100,000 a year? What am I looking? Full-time, permanent contract. I'm looking at permanent here. That chunk comes up to the top. But I actually might also look at temporary work, or I might look at contract. Really easy to do. All right. And again, I've already completed that. Partially remote. Yeah, fully remote. Yeah, not bad if you can get it, but who needs it at this particular point in time? I'm finding a lot more organizations are moving back into the office. What can I bring to the job? I thought this was quite interesting. I've already uploaded my LinkedIn profile, but what the system is, and my CV. So what the system's done is passed my details, i.e. taken the details from my CV and added it into their system. And it's basically added it onto the site. Very, very straightforward and really quite a good parsing engine. Quite happy with that. I can add some more details in here again. Some bizarre reason it asked me to add my current salary. Again, I've just put in a fictitious number there. Education, driving license. If you need that kind of job that needs driving license, then please add that in there. And then you can kind of highlight your skills. And I think this is really useful to really determine and focus your skills. Don't allow the system just to take the skills from your CV. This is called a facet, all right? So I would add as many facets for your specific skills as possible, all right? That allows you to really focus in on what you're looking for. So don't keep it general, keep it specific, because if you're going on to a number of sites like this, you want to be specific. And certainly as jobs start to come through, you want the jobs that match you and what your needs are, as opposed to the general feedback, all right? So that's something good to focus on. Okay, so back to the top here. Okay, so we've been through what am I looking for? Okay, so adding my details. What do I bring to the job? Again, further details. And then basically my CV layout itself. So my CV is there and I can update and change my CV at any particular time. So it's showing me at the moment what CV I've got loaded. I think, oh my God, December 21. Oh, that's the wrong version. I need the most recent version. Or I might have 2 or 3 versions on here that actually I want to show. So I might hold it here, but I actually want one actually to surface at any particular given time. So that's actually quite a nice feature to have. Moving back up, my account settings. Again, I can make the CV searchable, non-searchable for recruiters. Really quite nice, not searchable at the moment, but I'm actually going to make my profile searchable for recruiters. Okay. So this is quite a nice feature. Again, I can turn it on or off. Quite simple. And again, I can manage all my details here. All right. If you're looking and you're actively looking, get that on there straight away to change that. Okay. Back to my site. Okay. Job alerts we've already talked about. Nice and straightforward. Let's go back down to the bottom. And again, salary checker. Now they've got tens of thousands of salaries that they actually use to gauge and get a kind of median and mean salaries for. Here, for instance, field sales rep, the information is taken from 73 jobs, and you can go into and actually view those jobs and actually see what that range is. The average is 82. So if you're looking for a field sales role, you know somewhere in there is the role for you, which is absolutely ideal. Okay, and again, you can do your deep dive search in here. All right. So by the looks of it, this is actually an interface, a layer which sits on top of the old total job site, as it were. So it's kind of like a nice shiny interface. So actually, it's quite a nice update. The old site, as we've just seen, not particularly user friendly, but not bad. Okay. So my career, salary planner and career advice. So career advice, similar to other sites, there's tons and tons. I think there were 70 pages. There we go. 70 pages of career advice. You can search for advice. Again, one of the things that I find with sites like these, I'd like a little bit more videos in there. So kind of walk people through and show them what good and bad looks like. You can read this stuff anywhere. I mean, there's some great information here. So I'm not knocking that. I mean, there's probably more than you can shake a stick at. But again, it's how much time you have. And it also depends on your learning style. If you're a reader, absolutely. I prefer to show and tell, if you like, then I practice. So for me, just having to wade through tons of documents and think, okay, how does that really work? What does that look like in real life? Doesn't necessarily work for me personally, but that's just a personal feeling. Okay. But for you, you may absolutely find it perfect. Okay. So again, nice and useful, life at work. Again, it says what it does on the tin, goes into well-being, rights. Again, good information in here. Courses. I believe this isn't courses that are actually provided by them, but actually companies that can actually sell courses to you there. So do come back here occasionally. You might see an interesting course. Okay, so back to our home screen here. And again, that's almost really it. I'm just seeing if there was anything. Okay, salary planner. Yep, salary planner, actually quite useful. Now, this is really a way of Total Jobs really collecting lots of information. So if you've got a couple of minutes, it's really quite useful, helps you think a bit more. But they collect quite a bit of information about you, your job, etc., what you do, how you do it, your current pay rate, etc. And it helps build up a database of information here. So not only are they taking information from jobs that they see, but also taking information from kind of candidates who are looking for jobs, independent of that, and actually gleaning information from them about the current state of their salary. And this is quite nice because, this is different from a job description, which might sometimes give variations in salary. This is quite specific. So it kind of does help you as a candidate. So really you're paying it forward a little bit by completing the survey. I happened to complete the survey. It did say when the salary that I gave, I'm above the average in the marketplace, which is nice to know. But again, as I say, fictitious. But the salary planner is very easy to actually use. Okay. So back to our kind of job board area. So look, who should use Total Jobs? Well, again, being a generalist website, you can argue that anyone and everyone should be using them. Is it fit for everyone? I would say no. If you're kind of at the higher levels, possibly not for you. But I would say if you're a graduate, someone returning to work, or someone that's just a little bit confused by the current marketplace at the moment, or you're someone actively kind of sets up different job boards to actually help them, then absolutely this is really good. So that kind of leads me on to kind of how it should be used. And I think one of the key things on here is not only finding a job, getting that job alert coming through, and then if I were you, moving off here and then going straight to the company website that's advertising that job. That would be my personal preference. You don't have to do that. You can apply through this site and have at it. But what I would suggest here is when you're setting up a job alert, be really, really specific. So there are probably 4 or 5 sites that you can go on to that are kind of this kind of nature, really big and generalist. They have lots of jobs. They have lots of recruiters going onto this every single day, trying to find that ideal candidate. Okay. And lots of companies advertising on here. Again, what I found in the past that there's a lot of phishing exercises going on. I'm not being detrimental to Total Jobs or to agencies, etc. So guys, before you start screaming, bear with me on this one. But sometimes their job gets put out there, company's not really sure what they're looking for. They'll do a bit of a phishing exercise and just see what's on the market. So you don't want to get caught up too much in that. So what I'd suggest, if you see a job on there, go and check if it's actually live on the company website as well. I would then go and contact the individual who might be managing that job, be it an internal recruiter or a head of talent or the actual hiring manager themselves for that particular department. And then what I would do, I would take that job and put it in my own job tracker, which there's going to be a link to on this site. So I've actually set up a job tracker for you, use at your will. And then what I would do with regard to setting up the job alerts, set up very specific job alerts, have them coming into your inbox every day. And again, kind of get a sense for the kind of number coming through. What you don't want to be is overwhelmed by the amount of jobs coming through that are not really relevant. So go back to it every day, every other day to kind of just fashion it and shape it to what you're actually looking for. Then what you'll find, you've probably got 3 or 4 new jobs coming in each day from this site, a very niche focus, contacting that organization outside of this site, contacting them directly, see if they're really looking, and see if you can build a relationship with that organization as opposed to being one of just many people, hundreds of people, basically responding to an ad through this site and similar sites. So that's kind of would be my how to use this website. Good website. They've put a nice layer on top of what was kind of an old and website in Total Jobs. So it's quite nice to see. It's quite a fresh API that they've got sitting here. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. There could be a few more bells and whistles, but it's fairly straightforward. And what you see is what you get. So no complaints there. Anyway, that's it from me today and from AI Onion Reviews. Please kind of hit that like button, smash that subscription button so you don't miss weekly updates on videos just like this. And if you like it, just add a comment. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like to see more of. I'm looking to basically do reviews of every product out there, that can actually help you as a job seeker find the job you want, but also reduce that stress and actually get you back in work as soon as possible. Anyway, thank you very much and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.